Hello, and welcome to Most Significant Bit, a podcast that explores the connections between engineering, technology, and the marvels of nature. I'm this episode's host, Nicholas Leese, and today we're discussing biomimicry, what it is and how it has been used to solve engineering challenges. In this episode, I'll go over how mimicking termite nests and cacti when designing shopping centers may hold the keys to unlocking a more energy-efficient tomorrow. But before we get into all that, let's talk about the main issue first. Namely, why mimic anything in nature? After all, we humans have greater understanding than anything else in creation, right? Why would a creature as intelligent as a human pay any attention to simple things like bugs, fish, birds, or anything else without the same level of cognition? What do they have to offer? It turns out quite a lot, actually. I mean, think about it. Animals have had to adapt to survive just like you do, right? And you don't survive by doing random things that don't help solve your problems, do you? Well, animals behave the same way. They learn from their environments and adapt to the challenges their environments present. So, if we humans want to thrive in the same environments that other species have learned to thrive in, wouldn't it make sense to imitate what they do that works? Granted, you can't just throw yourself into the ocean and start breathing underwater like a fish. Well, you could try, I guess. Just let me know how that goes for you when you get back. But what we can do is study these animals and seek to understand how they have adapted, and try to copy what they do using technology or changing the way we do things. This is what's known as biomimicry, the mimicking of nature to help solve engineering challenges. Throughout history, humans have employed biomimicry in many ways. A few notable examples include how the seeds that stick to clothing inspired the invention of Velcro, or how mimicking the echolocation of bats gave way to sonar technologies. But the example I'll cover today is about why an architect in Zimbabwe chose to mimic termite nests when designing a shopping and office center. Mick Pierce, an architect, was challenged with designing Eastgate, using natural green methods to save energy. When tasked with the challenge, he decided to employ the biomimicry method to help him, because, after all, where else do you find a natural way to do anything other than in nature? It turns out he had been studying the architecture of termite nests for decades, and had uncovered one of their secrets: the ability to harness natural convection for airflow and temperature control. He noticed how the termites constructed their nests with many porous openings about the base, and how they had chimneys for releasing heat out the top. As the nest warmed during the day, the heated air would rise and pull cool air through the openings in the ground, naturally circulating the air. He described the termite nest as a type of lung, and marveled at how the structure could breathe naturally. He also noted the material used, similar to brick and mortar, could absorb a lot of heat without changing its temperature as much. He then looked for ways to keep the building from absorbing so much heat in the first place, and again found another example to follow in nature. If you look at a cactus, you'll notice that it isn't perfectly round, but it has many ridges and prickles. It turns out that as the surface becomes more three-dimensional, the worse it becomes at absorbing heat via light. Pierce made this point when he gave a talk in Africa, saying how, when using this method, when one surface is in the sun, another is always in the shade. Using the convection principles of the termite nests and the surface area principles of the cactus, Pierce designed his building to have many internal airways with slowly circulating fans in the airways under the floors to help circulate the air, and gave the building many chimneys for expelling heat similar to the termite nests. He also had the building surfaces be very three-dimensional with many concrete fins, resulting in what some have described as a prickly-looking building. When the building was finished, it was a huge success, and according to the Eastgate website, uses less than 50% of the energy consumed by adjacent buildings. Also, according to their website, temperatures typically stay below 78 degrees Fahrenheit, except for the hottest 2 weeks out of the year in November. What an awesome application of the principles found in nature to help out us humans. Like I said before, there are so many other examples to go over, but I'll leave that up to my colleagues. For today, we covered what biomimicry is and how it has helped us solve so many problems, and about how termite nests and cacti help architect Mick Pierce design Eastgate in Zimbabwe. I hope you've gained a better understanding of how mimicking nature can unlock all kinds of possibilities. With nature so full of ingenious designs, there's no telling how many more incredible discoveries are waiting to be uncovered. Maybe even in your own backyard. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.